The Gary Burton quartet has known many incarnations over the years. So
Well,
what brought about the reformation?
Well, this was Pat's idea, so he got to be in it. Pat was the, I don't know what the exact title is, but the special artist for the festival that year. So he was going to do like 4 concerts with different themes. So he called me up and said, how about this idea? It'd be fun to play, the music that we used to play together. He started his career in my band when he was 18 or 19 years old. And so it sounded like a fun thing to do. So we called and found Steve Swallow, and the drummer we were thinking about was Roy Haynes, who had been the first drummer I had in my group. But Roy wasn't available, and because it was just one time, we thought, well, we'll use Antonio. He'll be here anyway, and he's a great drummer, so it doesn't have to be perfect. It was just going to be one night. But it went so well that night, we had so much fun doing it, that as soon as we finished the concert, we started talking about at least doing a tour or something so we can play it a little more. And Antonio had worked out so well that we didn't even think of changing again. It was a perfect combination of players. So now we're on our 3rd tour, and we've made a record, and we're talking about doing another record. So it looks like this is going to be something we'll do about once a year, get together and do some playing.
Another memorable performance you gave was along with Milt Jackson, another famous violin back in '95. I wonder if you remember about that.
Well, that was part of some touring that we did during that year. We played a handful of dates around the U.S. and did maybe 3 weeks of touring in Europe as well. And I knew Milt. We knew each other for years, but had never, actually played together, because, 2 vibraphone players don't get to play together normally. But someone came up with this idea of, why don't we share a performance? He would play with the group and I would play with the group, and then at the end we would do 2 vibraphones together for a finale. The vibraphone is actually a variation of the xylophone and the marimba. And in fact, the xylophone was used in jazz early in jazz, in the 1920s, before the vibraphone was invented. And someone came up with this idea of, let's make a xylophone but use metal for the keys instead of wood. And around 1930, vibraphones started, appearing. And Lionel Hampton made the first record on a vibraphone in 1931. And it sort of gradually got more popular from then on. But it's an instrument that, most people don't know unless they're a jazz fan. I mean, people are always asking me, when they find out I'm a musician, they say, oh, what do you play? And then I hesitate and I say, okay, I play the vibraphone, and I wait to see how they react. And usually they don't know what that is, and I have to try to, well, it's like a xylophone and that sort of thing. In fact, Milt Jackson, speaking of Milt, he had a pin that was shaped like a little vibraphone on his coat one day, and I saw it, and I said, oh, that's cute. Who gave you that? He said, I got that, so when people say, what's a vibraphone, I can just point to it and say, there, that's it. So it's kind of funny. You play this instrument that most people don't even know what it is, and yet in jazz, we're right at home.